we find it doesn't make things worse. It's the anger that makes things worse. It's the controlling makes this worse. It's the demanding too much which makes things worse. But it's actually the kindness which encourages. When I get round to speech, I'll mention that and a few examples of how kind speech is by far the best way of encouraging the behaviour which you really want. And the last part of the right intention or skillful intention is actually non-violence. Those are actually the three right intentions of letting go, kindness and gentleness. And too often, even in Buddhist circles, sometimes we forget gentleness, especially when we're in a hurry, when we've got something very, very important to do. Too often we can actually we can run too fast, charge too fast and too forcefully, thinking that the end justifies the means. But the means is the end. The gentleness in life, the gentleness to your partner, the gentleness to your body especially. Sometimes being too forceful for the body. I try and do some exercise, but a lot of times the exercise is gentle exercise. I'm not quite sure, but I think that many doctors will probably know that if it's too forceful exercise, you end up injuring your knees or injuring your back or injuring something or other, because it's just too hard on the body, especially when you're 55. You've got to go gently, look after your old body. Just like, you have a car, it's not a Ferrari, you've got to sort of not push that pedal down too hard. Things are going to fall off your car, things rattle, and that's what happens when you get in your 50s. Very often many things rattle. If you go too fast, they fall off. But not only just when you're old, even when you're young, that gentleness seems to be such a beautiful part of Buddhism. I know we used to have the words before being a gentle man. That was supposed to be your aim in life, to be a gentleman or a gentlewoman. But nowadays we're far, far more aggressive in just the way we walk, the way we do things, the way we drive. It's such a beautiful thing to see that gentleness there and that courtesy. But it all comes from the thoughts of gentleness, of non-violence, of non-aggression. And that's also one spiritual path as well, because I've seen people on meditation retreats. Right, this is it. I'm going to become enlightened. I've only got 9 days. I've got to get it out of the way because I've got many other things to do in life. I'm going to go get her. And of course that degree of aggression, I've seen that so many times in meditation retreats, they just get to a brick wall very quickly, get really frustrated, really tense, and you have to, just, if they don't leave, you have to tell them, slow down, be gentle, go and take a good rest. Because a gentle approach is by far the best. And then this is actually basic to the Buddhist path. This is straight from the word of the Buddha. This is actually your intentions, the way your mind should be moving. In letting go, non-controlling, non-owning, and kindness and gentleness. And how that comes out in speech is so important, because too often our speech is just too controlling,